All right, folks, thanks for checking out the video. Today we're talking about the so-called No Kings rallies that are scheduled to take place this weekend. And the Democrats are screaming that President Donald Trump is some kind of tyrant. No kings, really? Trump's no king, and they know it. But you know who really wants to wear a crown? The Democrat Party. These wannabe kings are itching to control every part of our lives, and they're pulling out all the stops to rig the system in their favor. So let's talk about it. First off, Trump isn't sitting on a throne issuing royal decrees. He's a guy who ran for office, won at least twice, fair and square, and is trying to clean up the swamp. The No Kings crowd wants you to think he's building a monarchy. Meanwhile, the Democrats are the ones acting like they've got divine right to rule over us. So don't believe the noise. And let's talk about who's really playing king. The Democrats want to dictate what kind of car you drive. Gas powered? Well, nope, that's too bad for the planet. They're shoving electric vehicles down your throat, even if you can't afford one or live miles from a charging station. They're basically saying, oh, you peasants, drive an EV or walk. So, how's that for royal arrogance? And it doesn't stop there. These wannabe kings are coming for your appliances, gas stoves, air conditioners, even your dishwasher. They've got regulations to ban anything that doesn't fit their green utopia. You're just trying to cook dinner, and they're like, well, hey, sorry, sir, that stove's too carbon heavy. So switch to electric or eat raw kale. And speaking of food, they've decided we're eating too much meat, too many steaks, too many burgers. They're pushing meat taxes or meatless Mondays to save the planet. Meanwhile, they're flying private jets to climate conferences and chowing down on Wagyu beef. They're basically saying, let them eat tofu while they feast like royalty. And don't get me started on kids' education. They want to keep parents out of the classroom, pushing whatever curriculum fits their agenda. You want to say in what your kids learn? Well, tough luck. They're like medieval lords deciding what's best for your children while you're stuck paying taxes to fund their indoctrination camps. But here's where things really get sinister. The Democrats want to pack the Supreme Court, stuffing it with activist judges who will rubber stamp their every whim. They're not happy with the normal process, nominating justices when vacancies arise. No, they want to add seats and appoint their loyalists outside the usual scope, turning the court into their personal puppet show. So that's not democracy, that's a power grab straight out of a dictator's playbook. And if that wasn't bad enough, they're trying to pack the country with illegal aliens. They're letting millions pour across the border. And here's the dirty secret: those numbers get counted in the census, which pumps up the electoral college votes in blue states. That's right, your vote and my vote as an American citizen gets diluted because they're gaming the system with people who shouldn't even be here. So if that's not nullifying our voices, I don't know what is. So the No Kings rallies, total distraction. They're not about democracy, they're about power. The Democrats are mad they lost. So they're painting Trump as a dictator to scare us into submission. But Trump's not the one trying to micromanage our lives or rig the system. He's not telling us what to drive, what to eat, or how to raise our kids. He's not trying to stack the courts or flood the country to skew elections. He's saying we're free to make our own choices. So that's actually the opposite of a king. And of course, these rallies are funded by the usual suspects: big money NGOs, Democrat operatives, possibly even our tax dollars funneled through some shady back channel. They're not grassroots, they're astroturf. The people showing up? Well, of course, they're a mix of professional protesters and people fed a steady diet of fear mongering. They'll wave their signs, chant their slogans, and go home thinking they've saved democracy. Meanwhile, the real threat to our freedom is the party pulling their strings. So, of course, when you see the No Kings noise on your TV or X feed, don't buy it. Trump's no king, and he's never tried to be. The Democrats, they're measuring themselves for golden crowns plotting to control our cars, our kitchens, our plates, our kids, our courts, and our vote. So that's not democracy. That's a dictatorship dressed up in progressive platitudes. So, in any case, that's what I think. Let me know what you all think. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.